Um, hey man. I'm doing the normal weekend thing of contemplation, study, and you know, watching stuff, and a bunch of like stuff connected to each other without really intending on that to happen. Which I mean, I guess that's usually how that happens. But um, I keep posting this song, um, and then I keep posting my interpretation of said song, which has very different lyrics. Like it has very different words to what the actual song says, but it is inspired by said song. My body is a cage. Um, just those words hold so much meaning to me. I don't even know that I can convey how much, like how close that is to what I feel. And I think that there are many that feel that recently in current times, and there it's almost like there's a smoke screen of weirdo fakers that are telling each other comic book stories, and then there are those that are beyond that, that don't purport or fake as if they know. They just have feelings, and um, I'll say that I don't know. I don't know anything. Most of what I'm saying is just built in, you know, research and intuit intuition and feeling. But today I've watched and listened to many things, and I won't just say today. Lately, recently, many things have made me feel very much what I wrote, inspired by that song. That cover, because I'm kind of working on a music thing, but that cover that I posted in the community section of My Body is a Cage, um, I really feel that lately. And there's like a built-in duality to a lot of the experience that we're having, that I don't know that all of us are intuiting. Is that a word? Is intuiting a word? I don't fucking know. I think it brandishes itself in many different ways. I think that some, because they pay attention or because they study, start to understand that it's not their fault. But I think there are many, many more, much more of the population finds some sort of reason to blame themselves or someone else, and that becomes the show, that becomes the entertainment, and that's unfortunate. It's one of the reasons that I say the things that I say on this channel. Like, I know I talk really like reckless and I say fucked up shit to some, I guess. I don't really see it as fucked up personally, but you know, subjective, right? Subjective. Um, I I feel as though many of us that pay attention to the esoteric subjects that we pay attention to are more capable of the intuition that it takes to understand, maybe not what exactly this is, but what it is not. When you're told that it is something so beautiful and so coveted and so on and so forth, I I can't accept that, dude. You know? And it's not at all to say that that is the the precognition for some sort of depression or anything like that. It's more or less just very, very specific pessimism. I've talked about pessimism before, and many people view that as like negative, and I think that's unfortunate. I think pessimism is much more beneficial to the psyche than optimism, because you can still have a positive mindset with pessimism. I think that you are much more grounded within yourself if you have a pessimistic mindset. That is my personal belief. I'm not trying to push it on anybody, but like if you're an extreme optimist, you will essentially fall into delusion. That's my experience. That's what I've witnessed um, personally in life. Um, anyway, there's a built-in duality to this experience that is very strange, and I'm trying to understand it, though I don't know that it is meant to be understood. I don't know that it's natural. I don't think that this is natural. I think that's a part of the reason why we're beat over the head with this concept of organic and natural, and you're sovereign to the earth. Like, I think that's a part of that. You're not sovereign to the earth, you're just sovereign. You're just a being. This place is not your home. You're just here now. Do you understand? Like, you have so much more inside of you that has nothing to do with this place. The fleshy, organic, I don't know, apparatus that you operate currently, that's not you, man. You know? What do I think that I am? I don't really care, dude. If that makes sense. That's not meant to be like shitty towards you, by the way. Um, I think that I am. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say that it's obvious that I am. I know that I am, and I know that others interpret that I am. And it is very obviously important to others, maybe more so than to myself, that I am in this fleshy state, right? If that wasn't the case, then all of these like campaigns and things wouldn't be so important to keep pushing. Like, there's a lot of psychology and reverse psychology that's seeming to be the most important, I don't know, things. On one hand, there's a very, very lively movement to return to the earth, return to the natural, return to the organic. Can you point to me what things are truly organic at this point? Not saying it's not possible, but for instance, if you get some heirloom seeds and point and plant those heirloom seeds in your land, is your land untainted? Does your land not take in rain? Where does that rain come from? You know? Um, these are things that I very regularly think about, and it's really hard to shut off a brain that is so overactive. But I don't necessarily view that as a negative. I view that as a defense mechanism, if anything else. Um, I just think that this place is, yeah, man. Like like you just said, he said I think everything here is tainted. Agreed. That's basically what I'm saying. Like when I meet granola people that are like, I want to be holistic and everything I want needs to come from the land and all that shit. I'm like, yeah, but do you truly understand the chain of, you know, the fuck, dude. The shit I'm saying today is truly dark. Truly dark. Apologies, but also fuck you. um, the chain of events, like when I see someone, I watched a movie the other day. I don't remember what. Oh, the movie specifically made this the point of the movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a movie about these kids going on some kind of trip and it snows. They get snowed in, and then for whatever dumb fucking reason, they go and collect snow and make snow cones. And then they eat them and lose their fucking minds. And though that's not the entirety of the point of the movie, I feel as though that is like, I don't know. I'm not going to say what I think it is because I got to be somewhat careful sometimes with the things that I say. But you know what I mean? Like, if people talk about, and when I say people, I don't just mean us, I mean politicians are filibustering talking about chemtrails currently. In current times, certain politicians are bringing that to the forefront of, their meetings, their little whatever fests. And I don't tend to give attention to things like that unless there's some sort of like example or evidence. But I mean, dude, the sky is empty and then planes leave streaks in it and then it's cloudy and then sometimes after that happens it rains. That's for I at least what, like a decade now, how things go. Do you remember the last time it rained without planes leaving shit in the sky first? Does anybody even think about that? And I'm not trying to shit on people for that. We have a lot going on, dude. You have to survive. I get that. I definitely get that. And I thought that if I started working, a traditional job, that I would maybe think about this shit less. Nope. I think about it way more, actually. I think about it way more. Um, it's it's fucked up, and I mean, you know, I've made some videos that I maybe intend to return to making, but like I kind of had to duck off a little bit because they were being used against me, as I've said before. But like, someone just left a comment that we're poisoned on every level, and while I can't necessarily say that that's the truth full-heartedly, it certainly feels that way. And I'll give examples. I live in a place that is on the East Coast. The East Coast was the first to be settled in North America. In North America, the plumbing system obviously spreads from the place that was first settled. So when you think about plumbing, do you see any pipes being replaced or maintained, or have we just been using the same plumbing for a couple of centuries at the very least? At the very least, you know? Um, the place that I live in, the state that I live in, literally has to let people know that the water is not really safe. Some people drink tap water, which is horrifying to me. When I wash my dishes, because I don't have a dishwasher anymore, when I wash my dishes, or when I just run the water a little bit, it leaves calcified white shit in my sink. if I were not paying attention, I would just drink that. But it takes maybe 30 minutes for that shit to dry, and there's white shit in my sink from the water, not from soap, not from a chemical, or at least not one that I introduced. It leaves white shit in my sink. That, coupled with, you know, soil-borne parasites and microbes and so on and so forth, like, go look up videos of pipe replacements, plumbing replacements. It's not, it's pretty gross. Food. There's a chemical called atrazine that is used as a I mean, it's essentially used as something to keep bugs off of your food. Let's call it that. Very famously, there is he's a celebrity. Yeah, there's a celebrity that brought forth the study that showed that that same chemical, atrazine, was shown to turn frogs from one sex to another sex. It was very well publicized, but in a negative light, and it was made into a meme. They're turning the frogs gay. Atrazine has now been shown to affect the hormones in organic environments. You know, I guess that's the best way I can say that. So if you are one sex, it will affect your hormones to a level in which you believe you are another sex. Let's say that. Let's say it like that, right? So yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. There aren't many organic things, and depending on what you view as poison, there aren't many natural things anymore. Read the labels on the shit that you eat, and you should understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a contrarian or a dick or anything like that. That's just the truth. Salt shouldn't have 3 ingredients. But yeah, anyway, returning to the original thought, there's a built-in duality to existence here that I don't think that many have the agency or opportunity or both to notice. And then there are others of us that it's all we can think about. It's all we can think about. And it can be very painful. Not necessarily saying physically, but just generally speaking, it can be very taxing on the mind and on the spirit, on the soul. I'm not gonna be one of those that say like, you know, but it's meant to sharpen you. It's meant to, you know, you're learning a lesson. You chose to come here. All that shit. I genuinely don't like that shit, man. You know, I just feel as though if that was a technology that was being implemented, you would have a capability and a way to abort, to leave, if it got too intense, if it got too rough, if it, you know, if you were shown something or put through something that was too intense and you maybe need to restart. I truly believe that that's not something that you know, that would be ignored. So I don't know. I've been listening to music and watching movies and shit today. I just watched House of Spoils on Amazon. Really good movie, actually. I'm very critical of horror movies these days, but that one's good. Um, Good soundtrack, good story. Not too many what the fuck, why would you do that situations, although there are some. There usually are in horror movies. it's still my goal to make to make a horror movie where you don't have those why would you do that situations. Just fucked up shit happens and you don't really have a choice. It's not because you did it to yourself or you like saw a gate closing behind you and you look back at it thoughtfully and don't say, "Know what? I'm going to leave." Cuz that always bothers me. Anyway, yeah, man, I don't really have too much. I just the duality of this place and the thought of how so many different resources are telling you like to love it and to cherish it and to covet it. It's very strange to me. Doesn't mean you should, you know, exit violently or even exit non-violently, self-exit. I made a video about that called How to Lose the Game or something like that. That's not at all what I'm saying. I kind of think you're a pussy if you do that. And that hurts me to say because I have multiple people in my life that have chosen that route. And I completely get it. I definitely get it. I'm not saying I don't. But I can still say I think you're a pussy if you do that. Our souls make bonds. Our souls make connections, whether we want to or not. You know? And choosing that route is, I mean, at least without asking for some sort of support or help, is just kind of shitty to me. I'm fucking mumbling at this point. Babbling, not mumbling. Babbling. So, yeah. I'm really, currently, I'm very, very into the words that I put to that cover. It's in the community section. If you haven't read it, it'd be cool if you did, because I think it's a fairly accurate portrayal of this as I see it currently. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, I love you. Bye.